Move in Baltimore. Breaking news here on Sportscenter. The Baltimore Ravens have released kicker Justin Tucker today, cutting ties after 13 seasons and 7 Pro Bowls, and in the shadow of an NFL investigation. Tucker was the most accurate kicker in the NFL in history before last season, when he slipped to 28th in the league. In the offseason, Tucker was accused of inappropriate sexual behavior by 16 massage therapists. And last month, the Ravens drafted kicker Tyler Loop in the 6th round. John Harbaugh was asked yesterday about Tucker's situation.
From a standpoint of the investigation and all that, I mean, we don't know anything. I mean, we haven't been given any information, and that, as it should be, you know, it's all done the way it's done. So we don't know anything along those lines, so we can't make any decisions based on that. Every decision we make has to be based on football. There's a lot of layers to that. You know, you got a rookie kicker in here. You took him in the 6th round, early in the 6th round. He's a talented guy. Just from a football standpoint, salary cap, you know, all the different things that you just take into consideration. Whatever we decide to do over the next few weeks will be based on football.
And today, without mentioning the league investigation, Ravens general manager Eric DeCosta said in a statement, and I quote, "Sometimes football decisions are incredibly difficult, and this is one of those instances." He went on to praise Tucker's career. The NFL investigation is ongoing. Where the Cowboys are holding rookie minicamp. Dallas taking guard Tyler Booker at number 12 and edge rusher Donovan Ezraku in the 2nd round. They went into the draft with a lot of needs, including receiver and running back, but didn't take their first skill player until the 5th round. New head coach Brian Schottenheimer is shaking things up, too.
We moved some guys around. This year I did, along with the help of the staff. They don't really get a say in that. There's a method to the madness. When the guys went into the team room for the first time, I made them all stand up after they sat down. I let them sit down, and I had them stand up, and I had them move seats. Why? It's a new year. It's 2025. We'll do that in 2026. We'll do that in 2027 and beyond. I think it's just when you start a new year, do something different, you know, change something up. So it's something that's talked about, thought about, but there's a method to the madness at times.
Okay, our resident expert on Cowboys madness, the great swagoo Marcus Pierce, is here. You know, Shotty's been there. I mean, what do you think of him, like, mixing it up a little, and he put Dax Locker next to Micah Parsons, et cetera?
And I like it. I mean, I like you. You come in and you establish a culture, right? He's trying to make this a Brian Schottenheimer coach team, and there are things in particular that he's probably learned over time, and things that he wants to implement that puts his staple on it. I recognize and like this from coaches. Here's the other thing too. Like, you have to insulate this locker room. I was in this locker room for 8 years in Dallas. You got to insulate it. You got to keep the noise out. And as a head coach, you take a lot of the brunt things that come from the media, what Jerry Jones says, what everybody involving the Dallas Cowboys says, that has nothing to do with the players or the coaches. So I like it. I like his idea. I like his idea about putting Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott together. He's creating leadership. Now, they have to actually go out and do it, but this is a part of a locker room where these guys can look over and say, that's our best defensive player, that's our best offensive player. We are going to go as they go. And maybe they pass notes as the season goes along as well. So there's a lot of things you can do as a head coach, but establishing a culture and making sure these guys understand that we're all pulling in a direction. And one thing I loved about Wade Phillips, he would take the heat for us so we could just go play and focus on our job. And hopefully that's what Brian Schottenheimer is doing with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, and as you said, insulating it not only from the outside, but at times from the top of the organization and what's being said there as well. All right, Swaggo, we'll check back with you in just a sec. Thanks, my friend.
There's a lot of great offensive linemen in the room right now, so I mean I can learn from them. You know, pick their brains about stuff, the playbook especially. So, but other than that, I'm just trying to be a helpful piece. I just want to help the team however I can. If that's like starting, cool. If not, then obviously cool. I'm just here to kind of help the Chiefs win.
Well, that's what they have been doing, but they also allowed 6 sacks in the Super Bowl. Here are the changes they've made to that offensive line since then. They take Simmons in the first round. Kansas City signing Jalen Moore to play left tackle with the departure of Joe Thuney, and they're moving Kingsley Suamataia to left guard. As the great Swagoo is back with us, the nice thing is they have the luxury of not having to play Simmons right away. I'm sure they want him on the field as soon as possible. With that pick and the other moves they made, do you think they addressed their offensive line issues?
I think they did. Look, the offensive line is about, obviously, your starters being really good, but also depth. And when you build that depth, because throughout the course of the season, one, guys are going to get injured. You'll have guys miss time up front. And secondly, find guys that potentially can play multiple positions so they can almost be a 2-in-1 player in case you run into those situations in the league. There's always an issue with the offensive line because the question is, how many do we carry to a game on an NFL Sunday? So multiple guys being able to do multiple things is phenomenal. But we saw the woes and the issues with the Kansas City Chiefs look no further than the Super Bowl and what Philadelphia was able to do to them. But this has been a revolving door, and they're trying to find ways to solidify and find long-term answers to these tackle positions. That is the most important thing for them this offseason. I love that they addressed it with Simmons from Ohio State, who's played in a ton of big games. Obviously, he has to get healthy and get ready to play, but I think they are very happy with what they've been able to do. And the other thing about the Chiefs, usually their rookies contribute in a major way when you think about the guys that they've drafted. So they have some type of identification where these guys can come and make an immediate impact.
Yeah, Andy Reid does find a way really to get everybody involved in the roster from top to bottom, get those rookies some experience. And Patrick Mahomes was sacked 47 times last season. That's 10 more than any other year in his career. So, meanwhile, as they try to protect Mahomes, Baltimore will try to stop him. And they draft Georgia safety Malachi Starks. They got him at 27, had him ranked much higher. They were 10th in the league in total yards allowed overall, 31st against the pass. Starks led the Bulldogs in tackles last season. He had 6 career interceptions. Here's Starks and his head coach, John Harbaugh.
It's just a great opportunity to be here, an organization like this, and we got a really good group of guys here. So just be able to go out there today, get in the field, move around, communicate, just kind of get a little taste of what it's going to be like. I think it was good for everybody.
I mean, I expect him to do really well. You know, he's our first-round pick. A lot to whom much is given, much is required. And nobody understands it better than him as a young guy. Really impressed with his maturity. He broke the huddle today. That's not an easy thing to do your first time. So, so far, so good.
Yeah, he broke the huddle. Hey, yay, stop the presses. That was great. You know, I love this pick, Swagoo, because their secondary is already pretty good, right? And then you add Starks to the equation. What does he bring to the table?
Well, they improved tremendously, Hannah. And the one thing that he brings is, one, he's a ball hawk. He can take the football away. And we know when you get into those playoffs, turnovers become a premium. The other thing is it gives flexibility now to Kyle Hamilton to be a guy that they can roam around the football field. Think Ryan Clark, Troy Polamalu. And when you got guys back there that can call the defense, that can talk to everyone, get them lined up. And don't be mistaken. Malachi Starks played for Kirby Smart at the University of Georgia, where communication is a premium. Kirby Smart was one of my defensive coaches at LSU. Communication is a premium. These guys in the secondary come in and they're ready to play because that was Kirby's specialization. He played that position.